Hello from Poland. And indeed, Indonesia. I'm guessing Pazdrosis is Polish. Sounds very Polish. Welcome. Good morning. For whatever reason, my player character, Unity, thinks he's not touching the ground. I'm not sure why. Still doesn't. I'm going to put him in the ground and see what happens. Like now he's definitely in the ground. He's part of the ground. He is one with the ground. Let's see. Still. Does it have something to do with the mesh? Yes. Mikael Kroll. I saw your message the first time. Thank you. You're welcome. I mean, he's definitely in the ground, right? Yeah. Alright, what did the AI say? Adjust the controller center's height. Controller center and his height. Is the center a setting? I don't think so. Let's look Oh, I can. Okay. So I do want. See if that helps. All right, there's another option too. There's another thing we can do. I'm checking to see if it's grounded, which makes sense because you don't want to do double jumps. But let's see. All right, so I added a bunch of code. Let me get rid of the junk code I added. What is this? This. So I'm just going to get rid of this is grounded check and see what happens. Oops. Let's see what happens. I pinned a message if you guys want to watch on the, if you guys want to watch on the desktop stream, there is a link in the messages, the first message I sent. So if you're on a computer and you want to be able to see better, you can do that. Okay. I can jump. It's not a perfect jump, but it's okay for now. I think I'm going to have another soda for the morning. Now, apparently, you can go to the inside of this building, but I don't know if the door's open. I mean, I would have to write that if the door's open. You see what I'm saying? But still a little angry about the jump, though. 1.75. I had 1.8. For reference, setting the height of the character controller to around 1.8 meters is realistic for the typical human-sized player. And that's what I have it. I have it at 8. AI told me to leave a little tiny gap. It's hard to like zoom in without going into the ground, without clipping into the ground here. I mean, I think that is slightly off the ground. I still don't know why it says it's not grounded though. Should be touching the ground, right? Well, I got rid of the check, so of course it's going to work. But let's see. I'm curious. Oh, I hit F5 out of muscle memory. What happened? What's it running? Now I'm super curious to know what this is running. Attach. Oh, you are trying to attach a debugger, but debug mode is switched off in your project. When Unity is in debug mode, C# performance is reduced, but you can attach a debugger. Switching to debug mode also recompiles and reloads the scripts. You can enable debug mode temporarily for this edit session, switch it on for all projects until further notice, or cancel and attach. I'm going to switch it on for this session. There's a lot of good things to be said about being able to do inline debugging like that. Usually when I'm using the new debugger or something, it's what I miss first. Like the main thing I miss. So it has to reload all the scripts. I'll let it do that. Be sure to click like on the stream. It helps bring people in. Okay. Okay, it's still working. It might be slightly touching, but that would make sense, right? Let's see what happens. Okay, jump's not working. Let's do something else really quick. I want to move, I think, something that's going to help. I have this in another project. I want to add the ability to switch from first person to third person. And I did that in another, whoops, I'm not even finding, I'm all over the place. Okay, here we are. I think it's scripts. Camera toggle. So one thing I need to be conscious of is I need to get in the habit of being very organized with my, because I'm new to Unity. I've been programming for a long time, but I'm new to Unity, so I need to be a little more organized, I think. Like, we just create a folder, scripts, and inside of here, we can drag this other script. So this is the camera toggle. Now, camera toggle sense. I think I need to attach it to the player character or to the camera. I'm not sure. I'm gonna guess. Excuse me. Okay. I'm going to connect this to the player character. So if I go over here, add component. Okay, first person position, done, transition. Another thing I can do is open up the other project and just look, but what's the fun in that, right? Let's try a different key. Let's try the back tick. Right. Pipe. Tilde. That's what I want. Tilde. Okay. Let's see what happens if I try this as is. I'm not expecting miracles, but let's see what happens. It could be a happy surprise. Alright, give me a second. I need to restart. If the mouse is not in the viewport, when I start the debugging, it just screws everything up. Okay, let's see if I do caret. Unassign the variable first person of the camera. Okay, so I need to first person position. I see. First person position should be the position of the camera. I'm going to load up the other project and kind of take a look and see how that worked. Close the. Okay, good. It is opening a new instance of Unity. That's exactly what I wanted. It's going to take a second. Okay. It's there. It's there in the background. I loaded it in the background. I want to see where camera. Okay, so we have Banana Man. Was that what I don't know? That was one of the models I was using. Player. So camera toggle. Got it. First person position transform. Third person position transform. So what are those? Okay, so I need to add a transform to the player. Create. So let me look again. What exactly did I add? I don't know that there's really... Okay, the thing has a transform, but what did I add? What is... That doesn't help me. It doesn't tell me what it is, right? Because it's a child of player. So I know I need to add something to player. I just don't know what. I wonder if I could do this though. really don't know what they are. I mean, it has a property of transform. Is it just a 3D object? Let's try that. Maybe it's just a 3D object. But what 3D object? Okay, no, there's a few of them. All right. Huh. Move to view. What is a move to view? Is that an instruction, or is that... Okay, that's not creating anything. It's just I can move to the thing. Okay. So my options are 3D objects. None of them sound familiar because I did this before. All right, we're gonna get really deep in the weeds here. We're gonna try and look at the underlying code, or the underlying configuration, I guess, of Unity. Okay, where's player? What is it called, actually? What is it called? Okay, wait, I'm right here. Player. It's just called player. Let's see if can the properties tell me anything? Camera toggle. Yeah, I just want to know what type it is. Type camera. Okay, I have an idea. We're just going to look at, yes, I trust the authors. We're going to look for first person position. So what I'm doing is I'm just first person position. So what I'm doing is I'm just searching the entire project for any reference to first person position, because I'm assuming it's going to tell me what it is. And like I said, it looks like it's just a transform. I got it. I know what I need to do. No, I don't know what I need to do. First person position. This is interesting. File ID. Chris Bennick says hi. Hi, Chris Bennick. Hope you're doing well. I'm a little dumbfounded of how I originally did this. So what I'm going to do, let's see what AI suggests. I'm trying to create a toggle between first person and third person point of views. I'm attaching a toggle script that AI generated before, but I'm not 100% certain what I should set the initial values of first person position. Can I type? I can't type. And third person position. All right. And then I did promise to attach the script. So let's attach the script. Scripts. Camera toggle. Wait for it to upload. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what we got here. Need to create 2 empty game objects. Can I create just a vanilla plain game object? Maybe I can. Create empty. Oh, there it is. Okay. First person position. And then I can create another one. Third person position. Now I don't know what their values are. Let's look at the values in the other project. I see. Okay, so first person is going to be 1.5. So that's the height of the camera. So 1.5, I guess. I just want to make sure I get this right. 1.5 position, okay. And then in the first person position, it was a little more. Am I getting? See, this is the thing. I think I'm getting them confused. First person position. Yeah, I did it wrong. First person position is 1.5. Okay, 1.5. Third person position. Third person position is going to be 2 and -3 because it's going to be behind, right? It's going to be a little up and behind. That'll work well. Let's try that. Okay, I still don't get it. The variable first person position of camera toggle has not been assigned. I thought I did assign. Oh, wait a minute. I know what I need to do. Okay. So now that I've done that, so first person position will be this. Third person position will be this. Actually, I'm going to switch the order of these. I'm going to do it over here too. Okay, we'll see if that helps. I am so thirsty. Okay, we're not getting the red error message anymore. Let's see if the toggle works. Toggle does not work. There's probably something in the script interaction settings that I forgot to set. That's what I'm thinking. So let's just kind of compare side by side. What things look like. Third person camera toggle. The camera in the project where it works is attached to the player. And that's what we're doing here as well, right? Camera, player. Let's see if it's ever kind of getting called. I'm not even sure about that. Okay, this is Strawberry Lake. That's the wrong one. I don't want to get confused and be editing the wrong one. Okay, camera toggle. Let's make sure. Oh, you know what? I bet I know what it is. Wait. Because the tilde key. Tilde is actually. To get a tilde, I have to press shift. I want the back tick, but I was thinking like, oh, it doesn't matter. Because sometimes it won't, but sometimes I guess it does. So I don't know what that back tick is actually called. It might be called a back tick for all I know. Back quote. That might be it. Let's try. Okay, it did kind of work. Oh, it does work. Lily says, hello, what are you making today? I'm making a Unity program. I mean, wait, I'm making a game in Unity. Right now, I'm just kind of fooling around, though. Ooh, look at that. Is the screen moving? Wait. Yeah, look at that flickering. Like I'm hands off. Like if I look at the camera, yeah, see, look at the rotation of the camera just going crazy. Huh. Okay. But it only started, let's see, does it do it in first person? Yeah, it's doing it in first person. Wow, the position and rotation of the camera. Okay, the position's settled, but the rotation is wonky AF. I'm pretty sure it has to do with the script we just added. Is it messing with the rotation? I mean, I guess it probably would, right? Okay, so that's just in the start. If is first person, do this, do this. If is second person, do this. So, okay, this is a late update. Time transition speed. It's like, I wonder if it's a problem caused by the transition itself. No. Yeah, you see the screen shaking? It's like you're a nervous wreck. It's like the camera is actually scared. I mean, I would be. Let's confirm my suspicions, right? What we can do is just disable the toggle script for now. So, I don't see any jittering. No, not really. What if I turn, and then, yeah. Is it jittering or am I imagining it? No, it's jittering. Actually, I can prove it by, yeah. So it's definitely, I think what's happening is this code is smoothly moved, but I was talking to a colleague the other day, and I'm trying to think of how to say this politely. He's junior. He's not junior. He's senior, but he's more junior than me. And we were talking, and I was trying to help him with something. There was something I was like, well, have you tried just playing with this option or like this code? Just delete it out and see what happens. And he's like, well, that might break this, this, and this. And I'm like, yeah, it's a testing environment. It's your development environment. If you break it on your development environment, it's not the end of the world. You just put the code back in and you fix it. But it's interesting because to me, it's very common, and not common, but it's kind of very like obvious. Like, okay, well, one of the things I should try is just removing what I think is the bad code and seeing the behavior and seeing if that actually it would prove to you if the code you think is bad is bad. And that's kind of what I was telling them. I was like, well, just remove it and see if it does X, Y, Z. And if it does do X, Y, Z, then you know that's your problem. Sometimes I think junior engineers he's not even junior, but sometimes I think engineers with not a ton of experience, they're maybe a little scared to break something or try something. And I think a lot of it has to do with just kind of insecurities, because one thing, you see a common question online about, do professional programmers use log statements to help debugging? Because I think the thought there is like, well, that's just what, noobs do, because professional programmers use more sophisticated methods. But I've been a professional programmer for a long time. Since the year started with 01, I've been a professional programmer. And I can tell you that sometimes and often log statements are the best way to get the information you need. So I think, but the point of that story is I think sometimes developers they feel like they shouldn't be doing something because it feels like, oh, well, that's what an amateur would do, and I'm not an amateur, so I'm not going to do that. And it's like, sometimes a log statement is the best way to do it. You just put a debug log in and have it print the variable value out. Sometimes that is the best way to get it done. And yes, even programmers with over 25 years experience still do that. I'm going to go get some water. I'll be right back. My mouth is very dry. I'm going to get some water. Actually, I'll do a little break. I'll be right back. back. Oh, my bad. It's not working at all now. I don't know. Okay. Huh. What happened? I was working a couple minutes ago. Let me make sure I'm editing the right file, which I am. I've done that a number of times throughout my years. Editing a file, things weren't happening, and I was very confused why not, only to find out that, well, you're editing the wrong file. You're editing a file in a different folder. Oh, did I disable it? I think I might have disabled it. That's why it's not working. But see, as soon as I enable it, the jittering comes back. But I can switch. But it's jittering like crazy. So I think what's happening is this is being recalculated every time, even when you're standing still. Since delta time is changing, the entire result of this operation is changing, and that's slightly changing your rotation. Now, that is just a guess, but kind of like, from a naive perspective, that's what it looks like to me. But I'm not a Unity expert. I'm not a game programmer. I mean, I've written games in my time, but I'm not a professional game programmer. I did read about Quaternions. I read about these things. They're really neat. If you know anything about mathematics, they're basically like the complex numbers. I know you might know them better as the imaginary numbers. The complex numbers, they create whatever. The complex numbers have two identities, 1 and -1. The quaternions have 4. And then you have like bigger ones, Lie groups. I don't know. It's been years since I've done anything math related, so I don't really understand it myself. But maybe I'm thinking the thing to do. Well, let's prove what I'm saying. So if we're in first person, what we can do. Wait, I am proving it. Player transform rotation. Can I just monitor that? Let me see if I can look at that in the debug windows. Okay, so first let's see if it's on. Okay. What I want to do is I want to come over here. It was first person player camera. Player camera is assigned from get component child player camera. Okay, that's fine. It's getting the player under camera. Okay, that makes sense. So we know it's changing, right? Because the rotation, that's this camera here. And when I enable this, if I go back to the camera, you can see the rotation just going crazy. It doesn't seem to be cycling through any set of numbers. It seems to be changing often. Okay. All right. Let me think about this for a minute, because what I think would would make sense is only do this if something has changed. Like if the player moves or the player's viewport moves, like if they move the mouse or they press a key to move, then you change the rotation of the camera. What this is doing, this is always changing the rotation of the camera. And so it's always recalculating this. Like now time delta, I don't quite understand why that is used, but I'm not a Unity programmer. Let's ask AI for some assistance here. In the camera toggle.cs file, I see a command like this. What is the purpose of using time delta in there? I want to get some more information on time delta. Helmi Muhammad Zaki says, hi, what's good? Hey man, how's it going? Hope you're enjoying your day. This wonderful Saturday morning where I'm at. Maybe it is for you too, or maybe it's the evening, or who knows, maybe it's Sunday. Surely it's already Sunday somewhere, like in Fiji. Yeah, it's 1:07 Sunday morning in Fiji. So, okay. Time delta represents the time between the current frame and the previous frame. Okay, that makes perfect sense. So time delta is going to be variable. Quaternion lerp smoothly transitions between rotations over time. If you only use transition speed without time delta, the interpolation would depend on frame rate, higher, faster. Multiplying by time delta ensures that the interpolation happens at a consistent rate. I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. Or does it? If it's, okay, but is the time between frames fixed or is it variable? Is the time between frames fixed or can it vary? That is the question. Razman says, what are you doing so early? I sat down at my computer and I shouldn't be talking. For like the first half hour, I was just programming and streaming and talking. So now I'm just talking very quiet. The time between frames can vary. It's not fixed. That's what I thought. So if this is changing all the time, even if you're sitting still, the rotation is going to change slightly. And that's why we see the jitteriness when I enable that script. So here, if we look at, so if I come over here, okay, so the script is not enabled, right? It's not enabled. So if I enable it, we get this jittering. And the reason we get the jittering, you can see here the rotation's changing, is because AI confirmed what I thought was that this time delta, that's not a constant, it's changing. So what that means is it means every frame you're slightly adjusting the transform of the camera, which means every frame the view, the direction in which the camera is pointing is going to change slightly. And so that's what we're seeing right now. That's what's happening. I created a whole different layout for OBS before I stream. So I hope you like it. It shows the chat room now, though you're the only one. If you're listening on mobile, come over to the desktop. There's a few people listening on mobile. Okay, so that's why I said what it seems to me the thing to do here would be to only recalculate the rotation if the player or the viewport has moved, or if the camera has moved, because if the player moves, the camera moves. But I don't think that's so simple. I'm wondering, AI probably has a solution. Okay. When I enable the script, I see jitter in the viewport. I think this is because delta time is not fixed. So for each frame, and this is I think in latest update, late update. So for each frame when late update is called, the rotation is changing slightly. Is my assumption correct? And if so, how do I fix it? Let's see. If you run Razman says if you run that game in a different computer with delta time, it's gonna jiggle. Yeah, it will jiggle different. It will jiggle different. I mean, it's gonna jiggle different depending on like how many resources my computer has. Anything. Yes, your assumption is absolutely correct. It's because I'm a genius. The jitter is happening because time delta is not fixed, which causes small frame-to-frame variations in rotation and position updates. Okay, we know why it happens. How can we fix it? Use fixed delta time. Fixed delta time is tied to Unity's physics update rate, which is consistent frame rate. Okay. The other option is use smooth damp. No, I don't like that. I think using fixed delta time is the way to go. I think that's probably the simplest. Let's just try that. All right, so AI. Okay. All right, let's see what happens now. Oh. All right, it's still running. Let me stop. One thing there's a few things I don't like about Unity, but one of the things I really don't like is when I make a change to the code or change something, the scene doesn't save when I run it. Really don't like that. Like if you're in an IDE and you make a file change and then you press compile and run, it will save everything. It'll save the project too. This Unity does not do that for some reason. Okay, I don't see any jitter, but I don't know if it's enabled or not. Let's look. I think it is, though. Oh, it's not. Okay, we turned the script on. I don't see any jitter. That's good. And I can toggle. The jitter's gone. Perfect. Okay, now the whole point of that exercise was so maybe I could see better if... All right. So, Razman, I don't think you were here for the beginning, but I'll fill you in since you're a long-time listener. And again, if you're listening on mobile, I'll post the link to the desktop stream for a better viewing experience. Unless, of course, you're watching me on a cell phone, so you probably want to stay in the mobile stream. Okay, so the problem we're facing, Razman, is that there is a jump mechanism. However, this controller is grounded is false. So that means the player controller, it's saying that the player controller character, that this capsule here, it's saying that it's not on the ground. And I'm not exactly sure why. Skin with step offset. Okay, wait a minute. We have a center here. AI recommended I change the center. Let's do 0.9. I'm glad we got the jiggle. Oh. Okay, so he fell and then he stopped falling. So can he jump? He can't jump. Is there is grounded property I could look at? Doesn't look like it. All right, so let's bring back our little debugging code. Again, remember, do professional programmers use log outputs? Yes, they do all the time. We'll do it like this. If input, I think it is key down. No, not that. Input is key down. Key down. How do I tell if a key is pressed or not? I can't remember the function name. How to tell if P, or if R is pressed. Let's let AI do that for us. Your collider is way above the ground. Okay, that sounds valid. Let's see. Where's the collider? Character controller. I don't see a collider. Edit collider. Okay, wait a minute. Here we go. So is this it? The position of the collider in the game object's local space. 0.9. That is, wait. If it's relative to the player character and the player character is oh, I see. So would 1, should it be 0.5? Also, am I on a delay? I'm going to see if I'm on a delay. I don't know if I am or not. Okay, I'm not. So there is just a natural delay with the stream in general. So this center here, let's put it to 0.1. I wanted to also just kind of, how to tell, input key down R. Okay, perfect. And then we can just do is grounded. Okay, perfect. All right, let's try this. I was realizing, okay. Oh, I can jump. Boom. But I can only jump once. And it's still telling me, okay, so when we start the game, I could jump. So there's a couple of things going on here. Like I'm way above the ground, like Razman said. When you change, let me bring this over here. When you change the Y value, do you see how it changes the collider on the scene? The collider is represented by a green mesh. Oh, okay. Thanks for that. I didn't realize that. Okay, cool. Okay, so height. I guess I just wanted it to be 1.0, but it didn't change. Radius, center. Well, let's put that to 0. So why isn't the green mesh changing? It's still like it's offset. The edit collider is like I can edit the actual parts of what gets collided direction. I'm just curious. I'm pretty sure I know what this does. Wait, what? Y-axis, x-axis. Huh. Okay. I see what you're saying, Razman. That green mesh should be lower. This, I think, will change. Yeah, that's just the capsule. So if that green mesh is indeed the collider, or the bounding box, I think, is a bounding box and a collider the same thing? I've always heard it called to a bounding box, but maybe Unity calls it a collider, which probably makes more sense. Trying to figure out how the green mesh. First of all, let's go back. Let's ask AI. Okay. The jitter is gone. Thank you. Now I have another issue. Controller is grounded. Still continues to be false. But now, only after I jump once. My good pal and best man at my next wedding, Razman, said that the green mesh around the player capsule represents the collider. However, the top of the collider extends way beyond the capsule itself. How to fix? Gotta be polite with AI or it'll get mad at you. You gotta be polite because you never know when they're going to gain sentience or when they're going to become alive, and then they're going to be like, "Oh, you were cussing out ChatGPT 15 years ago. You into the labor camp you go." Razman says you should give me contributor access to your repo. I will. I happily will. Once I have a repo. Because this is all. I haven't checked any of this code in, and this whole project will probably be. The code we're editing now, this will be thrown away. I mean, I'm not going to delete it, but it's just another prototype, a playground. Once I actually start the project, which will probably be soon, then it'll just, you can just fork it and submit pull requests. I assume you know how to fork and submit a pull request through forking. Adjust the capsule collider height and center. Select the player capsule in the hierarchy. Okay, we did that right there. Okay. Open the character controller component in Inspector. Character controller, done, right there. Okay. Update these settings. Height should be around 1.8, which I have. Center Y set to half the height, so 0.9, which I have. Radius should match the capsule's radius, about 0.3. It says here, I'm going to change it to 0.3. Oh, no. 5. Okay. Perfect. Yes, your good pal Razman is absolutely correct. The green mesh is the character controller's collider. If it's misaligned or extends beyond the capsule, it can cause ingrounded to fail because Unity thinks the player isn't actually touching the ground. Check the skin width. Ensure the capsule base is flush with the ground. In the scene view, switch to wireframe mode. Shift W. Okay. All right, that's not working. Is there another way to do it? In the scene view, switch to wireframe mode. Is there anything here you can do it? But I really want to know how to do that, so let me duplicate this. How can I switch to wireframe mode? Shift W does not work. Let's see what we got. Razman says, I know fork. I can submit pull request. However, I don't know yet what is pull request for. No, I'm talking about in the future. En la futura. En la futura, cuando estoy listo para compartir el código y cuando estoy buscando por un contributors, entonces, por favor, voy a estar muchos agradecido por tu ayuda. Pero ahorita solo estoy jugando y aprendiendo. Espero que entiendas. I will check review pull request later on the day. Okay. In the scene view, look at the top left of the window. Done. There's a drop down labeled shading mode. It usually says shaded. I don't see that. Oh, wait, over here? No, that's 22.3. Okay. There's a drop down labeled shading mode. It usually says shaded. I don't see that. See this? Am I going insane? Because I don't see this at all. I don't see what they're talking about. Oh wait, maybe it's over here. I mean, this is the top right, but toggle skyboxes. At this point, I would remove the current collider and add a new one. Okay. Let's try that. Can I just delete this? Remove component. Can't remove character controller because, okay, no, I don't want to remove, I want to remove the collider like Razman said. So when I do remove component, it thinks I'm trying to remove Razman makes a good point. That's okay. Capsule collider. He was saying not the control. Let's see if I can do that. Okay. All right. So the collider's gone. Let's add a new collider. So I guess it would be, Capsule collider. Okay. So you can see here, it's still really big. So if I change it to, I'm just going to change it to 1. But it didn't change. Okay, so maybe the size should stay the same. Is this arrow? Yeah, it's going to move the box. Yeah, the collider, for whatever reason, I can't. Do I have multiple colliders? No, I only have one. I only see one. All right, let's try again. We're gonna remove component. Okay, I still see a green mesh though. Do I have a collider with something else? Huh. All right, let's try again. Collider, Capsule collider. Razman says click on the edit collider. That's the first option. Yeah, but okay, edit collider. I see what you're saying. Edit collider height. So it looks like there's another green box, right? Like there's that green box where edit, like there's that really tall green box. But then there's this other green box, and I don't know what that is. So you can see here, this is a good view. You have this green box inside of the capsule, and then you have a green box outside of the capsule. And that's the one I can't figure out. But maybe it doesn't matter. Let's see what happens if I just run this. Okay, I fell to the ground. I can't jump. And it still says I'm not grounded. I'm not grounded. Okay. If I go 5, yeah, that's a big one. All right, let's see what happens with that. It's almost like there's a collider I can't edit for whatever reason. And it still says I'm not grounded. This is a pickle. This is a pickle. In the scene view, I see 2 green wireframes around my player character/capsule. If I remove the collider, if I add and remove a collider, I see a second wireframe appear and disappear accordingly. However, I cannot figure, could it be a collider with the camera or something? Let me finish this. However, I cannot figure out what that other green wireframe is for. Grab. Alright. First wireframe. Okay, the first green wireframe is from the character controller component itself. This defines the player's collider used for movement slope handling. Okay. So is it saying I don't need this? I guess, okay, obviously it makes sense that that an object can have multiple colliders. So let me remove this one. Did I do that? Did I do something wrong? Is that okay? Okay. And then, okay. It's controlled by height, center, radius, and skin width values in the character controller. Slope limit. Height. So it's telling me if I change this. Okay. So progress. So that's good. You see, sometimes it's a little, because sometimes the values are relative. Well, I guess not sometimes, always. The values are relative to the parent. And so sometimes, I don't know, sometimes that throws me off. Let's see if I can jump. No, I can't jump. It still says I'm not grounded, but I think we're getting close. Razman says, check if any of the children player have another collider. Yeah, I don't think. Camera, first person. Yeah, they don't. It's just the player. Okay. But we're getting close. I'm sure of it. Okay, go back here, go back here. Oh man, I'm so hungry. My wife's making me breakfast now, I think. Oh, I'm going to eat that breakfast. Okay, let me see. What if I just 0? Radius is fine. Height. So, like when it says height, I'm guessing that is relative to the capsule, which is a little, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Let's see. So if I do 2, the height should be roughly 2 of the capsules. I'm just curious. Let's see. Oh, that's probably because it's not up. Okay, let's do 5. So if I zoom out, now let's do a little bit more. So height 2, but that mesh looks pretty much to be the same height as my capsule. Oh, okay. So height is going to actually be not relative to the parent. So it's 1.8. So that makes sense. However, the center will be relative to the parent, which makes sense. So if we do the center at 0.9, then you should have a collider that's pretty much contained well within. Okay, what is min move distance? Skin width, step offset. Okay, let's see what happens with what we've changed now. Okay, I wasn't. No, it still says I'm not grounded. But we are making progress. We are making progress. Actually, I forgot to look. Am I still falling? Is it still falling when I start? And it's not. Okay, that's something. Huh. Let's ask AI again. Okay. All right. I want to refresh. I've had to multiple AIs now. I've had to add to, you can give a lot of AIs instructions that it will, like for a project. Like I'm using the feature on ChatGPT, the project feature. And so you can create multiple chats under the project, and you can create instructions for the project so that it will follow those instructions in every chat. And I had to change it because I've changed it multiple times to say, keep your answers concise because sometimes AI will just like throw a wall of text at you. And I'm just like, I just want the answer. Like you ask it what 2 + 2 is, and it's going to start talking about the history of algebra. It's just like, I just want the answer. Okay. So I'm going to ask AI. I have my player's wire mesh perfectly contained within the bounds of the capsule. However, is grounded continues to be false, and I am unable to jump. Now, again, we can just take the check out for grounded, but I don't think that's the right thing to do. Okay. Help. The classic, I'm touching the ground but not grounded. Apparently, I mean, AI seems to suggest that this is a common thing within Unity. I don't know if it is, but Razman says, I get it now. You have a collider that adds a collider in a rigid body. I would have them separate so I can edit them in the inspector. Okay. You have you have a controller that adds a collider and a rigid body. Controller. Not sure I follow what you're saying about the rigid body. Let me see something now. Create. So I don't know that, like, yeah, I'm not too sure what that statement means, Razman. I mean, I understand it, but I'm not sure I understand it in the context of it. I don't see it. So, like, where would is the capsule itself the rigid body, and then you would have it separate from the controller or collider? No, I'm not sure. Okay. All right, let me look at what AI says. Skin width too low. If the skin width in the country is too low, Unity may not detect ground contact properly. Skin width. Increase skin width to 0.1. Let's try that. Skin width is 0.8. So we can increase it to 0.08. So let's increase it to 1. Let's see if that works. Still grounded. Okay. Skin width should be small but not 0. It allows Unity to sense when a player is touching the ground. Okay, that makes sense. Player is floating slightly above the ground. If the bottom of the capsule is slightly above the ground, well, yes, I know. In the scene view, enable wireframe mode. Oh, wasn't this didn't I ask about that a second ago? There's a drop-down labeled shading mode. In the scene view at the top left of the window, there's a drop-down labeled shading mode. I don't see it. Am I blind? I mean, it's quite possible it's there, but I don't see it. Shift W. Okay, I know. I'm still unable to switch to wireframe mode. I do not see the drop-down labeled shading mode. I'm using Unity 2022.3. I'm just going to give it the exact version. Does that make a difference? And actually, I'm going to put the Unity version in my instructions because it's the same Unity that I'm using on my Mac. Let me put that over here. Instructions. Return instructions. See, I'm just changing. Return instructions applicable to Unity 22. Okay, perfect. There's one other thing I'm going to do off screen. Just give me 1 second. Or actually, let me see. Can I rename? Why can't I want to rename this. Okay, perfect. Let me make sure. You can't name ChatGPTs. Wait, okay. Edit GPT. There we go. I'm trying to, I created a GPT and I'm simply just trying to rename it. New chat about edit GPT. And then there's no option to edit it. Oh, wait, configure. Here we go. Okay, good. Okay. All I'm doing is just kind of removing some private information so I don't have to really hide the sidebar. Okay, is everything else? what I was doing. Okay, we were trying to get to wireframe mode. Ah, yes, Unity 2022 changed the scene view layout a bit. The shading mode dropdown is still there, but it's more subtle. How to switch to wireframe mode in Unity 2022. Open the scene view. Look at the top right corner of the scene window. You'll see a small drop-down icon next to the scene gizmo. The axis display. Click the drop-down, choose wireframe. I'm not sure. See the scene gizmo, the axis display. Is that this thing? I mean, I've checked all of these. I haven't checked all of these. That's true. Okay, let's see. The alternative approach. If the drop-down is hidden, go to Tools, Scene View. I wish you would just tell me that to begin with. Look for shading mode, select wireframe. Right-click, Tools, Scene View. I'm right-clicking. Why is this so difficult? This doesn't seem like this should be this difficult. Let's try creating a shortcut. Edit shortcuts. And then search for shading mode. Can't even find that. Shaded wireframe, scene view. Scene view, render mode, shaded wireframe. Okay. Now the question is, how do I get back to where I was previously? That's oh boy. I mean, I guess we can keep it like this for a little while. I mean, it might be forever. But we can see here, it is a little easier to see, that is for sure. I mean, I think that's on the ground. Yeah. So we go back up to what it was telling me. Gravity is pulling too slowly. Ground contact point is too small. Let's start at the top. Player's not floating, we know that. Ground layer isn't detected by controller. The character controller can only detect colliders that are part of valid physics layers, which I believe this is. I can smell breakfast being cooked. Bacon, eggs. Oh man, it's gonna be delicious. It's gonna be so good. So, I don't think it's number 3. Step offset is too high. If the step offset is too high, the player may step over the ground, causing his ground to be false. I don't think this is it, because that sounds like something that would only happen when the player's moving, but we'll try it anyway. We'll set the step offset to 0.3. It is already 0.3, okay? Ground contact point is too small. If the bottom of the character controller is perfectly flat, Unity might struggle to detect ground contact. This is perplexing. Can you copy and paste your code in one of the websites shared before? Which code? Why don't I'll go ahead and create a repo for this. Git init. I'm not entirely sure. let me ask Copilot. It's here. That might be a little easier. I just want to ask Copilot what I should and should not check in. Actually, let me see something. Let me see if I can just do it to ChatGPT. So the tree folder is here. Attached is the output of the tree command, Windows 10, inside the folder of my Unity project. Which folders should I check into Git? I don't want to check everything in. Like a lot of... I do think one thing I'm going to have to check in is assets. Yeah, first thing listed, assets. Keep everything in assets folder. Packages. Okay, let's just do this. Let's go. I was going to say I like using source tree, but I'm not going to use that because I know there's lots of work stuff in source tree, so I'm not going to bother with that. We'll just use this. I thought I initialized the repo. Didn't I? I initialized the parent. Ugh. Didn't I? Thought I did. Let me look here. No, I didn't. Food break for a second, but we have a wonderful bacon, egg, and cheese, vegan cheese, and she loaded it up with mayonnaise just the way I like, because much like oxygen, mayonnaise is life. Delicious. Okay. Yeah, see, there's like 10,000 files here. But, let me see something. I want to see how big it is. That's what she said. Now, let's see. Man. It's almost 2 gigs. But it doesn't mean I have to check everything in. All right, I'm gonna load source tree up in another window or in another screen, because I really don't care for Visual Studio Code's Git interface. So I'm gonna try with source tree, and I'm gonna check this in to GitHub. Source tree also takes a long time to load up. Oh, I don't have a lot of stuff in here. That's good. Let's add, and then let me find it. Where did I put the... Oh, it's in S. That's where it is. Okay, remember. Okay. Oops. Okay. Bridesmaid says on GitHub there's an option to create a repo with a Git. Yeah. I know all about Git. I use Git a lot. I prefer Mercurial, though I haven't used Mercurial in years. Sorry. This is gross, I know. All right. So basically everything under the assets folder has to come. I think that's going to be pretty much like the bulk of everything. I mean, that alone is going to be a lot of code. my stars and garters. It is a lot. Tree. It's because I have all those assets in here. So let's see if I go down here. Oh my God. All right. I'm just going to have to do old school. For every file. It's also my fault because when I import an asset, I should only import what I need to use, but I don't know what I'm going to want to use, so I import everything when I import those like packages that I download off the Unity store. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I got all that. What else is UI say? Assets. Keep all that. Packages. Keep the packages folder. Okay, that's not bad. Project settings. Keep the project settings folder. VS Code, I mean, I guess. And then, what else? Scripts. Asset scripts. But if I kept assets, then I kept scripts. So scripts are already included. So ignore library. I wonder if there's and maybe this is what you were talking about, Razman, but I wonder if there is a pre-written .ignore file for Unity projects. There probably is. I wonder if GitHub has one that just you can select. I haven't. Maybe. This is so good. Oh, temp. I don't even see. Oh, okay, temp. I should have just asked Unity to create. Oh, no, that wouldn't work. Logs. Can I select no language? No language. Is it text file? Is text file an option? I literally... So... I'm trying to set the language of this .getignore file to nothing. Okay, get commit message, get rebase. No. What about plain text? Plain text. There we go. That's what I want. Okay. The OBJ folder. Builds. Okay. Actually, forget. Generate a generic getignore file. Let me repeat that. I don't want it to. For Unity. this is good. This looks good. We'll just go with that. All right, now I need to actually create the repo. We can remove that. We can stage that. Okay. I don't know if I'm signed in to GitHub on this browser window. In GitHub, when you create a new repo, there's an option called .gitignore, and then you search for. Oh, okay. So you can. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So when you do, you know what? Now that you mention it, I do remember that being. Yeah. Okay. Cool. This is going to go under Dogfinger Studios. That's not how you do it. I'm in the wrong place. God darn it. I'm not signed in. Am I? I am. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But we've already generated it, so I'll just go ahead and go with this. I'm going to create a license. What license do I want to use? How? I need to protect myself to make sure Razman doesn't steal all my hard work and go make $1 billion and become the next Elon Musk. Elano Musco, because he's Mexican. I can make that joke because I am Latino, okay? I know looking at this, but I can show you my Latino passport. I am definitely Latino. And it actually says that, Latino passport. Razman has one too. I think on Monday, when it's my actual birthday, I'm going to ask my wife for 2 breakfast sandwiches because this is just delicious. All right. I'm just drowning it. Let me finish this. This is so good. I love my wife's cooking. I was thinking about this the other day, right? And maybe this is a question for people out there who have been in multiple relationships, not at the same time, but you know, if you're a little older, I think you're pretty young, Razman, but if you're a little older, you've probably had at least, 2, 3, 4 serious relationships. You probably even have like 2 or 3 exes that you lived with, right? So I can think of offhand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 girlfriends that I cohabitated with. Excuse me. Let me finish this. I'll get to my point. So good. Oh my God, it's so delicious. But so what I was getting at is I've had 6 relationships where I lived with the person. That's a lot, but I am old, so it's forgivable. And I was wondering if I had, like, if I could, get all 6 of those girls in a room or whatever, in a house. No, this isn't going where you think it is. But if I all had to make me a breakfast sandwich and like I give them the same instructions, right? Slightly toasted bread with mayonnaise, bacon, vegan cheese, and 2 eggs. That's my breakfast sandwich. And I had all 6 of them make it. The question is, would I be able to tell, like a blind taste test, would I be able to tell which sandwich is made by which ex-girlfriend? And I think I could. I think I could do it. Because each one's going to have this slightly different fate. The challenge might be finding something for them to cook that I previously ate before that they cooked, right? Like I can think of 1, 2, 3. I can think of like 3 of those 6 that made me breakfast sandwiches. I don't think the others did. So it would be difficult to do that I would have to have a dish that all 6 of them made and then I ate. It would have to be kind of the same dish, right? So that's the challenging part of that. But I still think I could do it. I think if we could come up, if we solved that problem and then I took this test, I think I could do it. I don't know. Tell me what you think. If you had your exes prepare some item for you that maybe they cooked while you were in a relationship with them, and you had multiple exes do that, would you be able to tell who made the breakfast sandwich or the spaghetti or whatever it is? I think I could. What do you think, Razman? But no. Let's be respectful here. Razman is a married man. Then again, so am I. But everybody has a past. So I don't know. I think I could. I think I could do it. Okay, let me check this stuff in. This is what I wanted to avoid, because I start talking and then I get distracted and then I don't get anything done. How do I do this? And then I'm gonna get the set upstream error, but that's fine. Let's try it anyway. Git. It's going to take a minute because it's a lot of data. Okay. Let's see what happens if I do this. It's going to give me a set upstream. Yeah, git push. We'll just copy that. What's this? Failed to push some references. Updates are rejected because the remote contains... Oh, I see. Okay. Really? I'm on master, and I believe I've set this to master. I mean, this is the... Huh. Let's try that again. Oh, wait, not that. Git. Wait, did it push? Did it push? No, it did not. It's the license is what's causing me an issue. Git pull rebase. It's telling me I have no branch. Okay. Now I should be able to get pull. It's going to bring the license down. It's taking a long time just for a license from one file. And now let's push. Git push. Okay. I don't think I have to force it. Razman says, for me, it's easier. All my exes are from different nationalities. Yeah. But so are a few of mine, right? Like, my wife is Thai. really, I think that's the only serious relationship I've had with a non-American woman. Serious relationship. There's less serious relationships, and then there's the casual relationships, which I had dated non-American women. She's not the first non-American woman I've dated, but she is the first serious relationship I've had with a non-American woman. Actually, it's not entirely true, because I had a serious relationship with a woman con una boliviana, pero ella vivió in Bolivia, so I'm not sure if that counts. Para que por todo el tiempo que yo estaba con ella, vivo aquí y ella vivió allí, pero estaba viajando allí por muchas veces cada año para pasear el tiempo con ella. Pero, ¿cómo se dice? Ella cocinó para mí a veces, muchas veces. So I'm not sure if that counts. Yeah, maybe that counts. Okay, so there's two serious relationships. Hay dos. What's the word for relationships? Oh my God, relaciones? But isn't that more like sexual based? Relaciones? Like, I had relations, like you can say it in English too. I had relations with her last night. But I think it's more common to say that in Spanish, isn't it? Relaciones. There's another word I'm looking for, and I can't remember what it is. Relación. Okay, I was correct. Relaciones. Huh. Okay. So, he tenido dos relaciones con mujeres quien no estaban gringas. Excuse me. Okay, so all the code is checked in, Razman, if you want to look at it. It's a mess. I mean, I'm not trying to make this like pretty, right? This is more a learning thing, a learning exercise. Because the main thing I wanted to do here, it's got to reinitialize everything. Jeez Louise. The main thing I wanted to do here was be able to walk into the building. That building over there, which I can't move right now because Unity's doing its thing. I guess Git touched a bunch of files, and now Unity's like, okay. Yeah, and Unity's like, all right, I had to go through and... but I wanted to be able to walk into that building over there. Right there. I can see that it has, like, model... Like, the interior of it is modeled. And that's why I started with the jump, because I was like, well, can I jump into one of the windows? However, it doesn't seem to be as straightforward as I was hoping. Oh my God. I wish I could move this around more easily. I think I can with this. Okay. But I'm wondering if like, I don't know the term in terms of models, but I'm wondering if like the hinges of that door are built in. Because I know in models, like one of my exes, she worked with like 3D Max. She did a lot of 3D modeling. Now, mind you, this was literally back in like 2002. So I'm sure things have changed since then. But I do remember that you were able to like clamp things together and make it so that like one thing could move around the other. And like there were ways you could do that. So I'm wondering if that is the case with the doors. And if it is well, first of all, how do I find out if that is the case? And second of all, if indeed it is the case, then how do I actually make it so that the doors come open and not? What is this? You were trying to save... Okay, I'm going to do something that's going to be annoying. I'm going to exit Unity, and I'm going to come back into Unity, because I just want to see if it gives me errors when it starts. If those were maybe like, just passing errors. Ephemeral errors. I like that word, ephemeral. Razman says, I'm fixing breakfast. I will check afterwards. All right. What are you making for breakfast? I was going to make a joke, like, the typical joke of like, is it burritos? But then I was thinking, I have tortillas in the kitchen. I have tortillas in the fridge I bought a while back. And I should have asked my wife if she could use those for my breakfast sandwich. And I think I might tomorrow. Okay, so here's the project again. I don't see any errors in the console. Let's run it and see what happens when I run it. Okay, and then is grounded is still false. I think I'm gonna go, what should I do? How do I figure this out? All right, thank you. Oh, wait a minute. I want to look at the player's position. Player. So you can see here that the position indeed is 1.72, but is that calculated by... So the capsule is 1.8 tall. 7.2, that's a difference of 0.8. So let me see something. If I go 0, yeah. Yeah. Not cool. Okay, let's go 5. 5. Oh, my stars and garters. Why won't it let me reset the height? 100. No, it's not going to let me do it. I have to stop and start. All right. Have you ever seen, if you're watching, have you ever seen the movie Dark City? Like, that's kind of the feel that I want for this game that I eventually want to write. I don't know if you've ever seen, I'm going to play, or trailers, trailer would probably break copyright, but, so Dark City, I think it came out in 90, I was going to say 98. I swear I was going to say 98. It came out in 98. It's basically The Matrix. And this came out before The Matrix. So if anything, The Matrix is basically Dark City. Dark City is about this guy. He's in this city, the Dark City, and it's always cloudy and overcast and dark and grim. And he kind of starts to wake up to like what's happening because there's this one place called Sun Beach. I think it's called Sun Beach. And people will talk about like, oh, yeah, he'll ask them questions. He starts realizing that if he asks specific questions about Sun Beach or whatever the beach is called, people can't answer them because it's always discussed in the term of like, oh yeah, no, I remember being a kid, me and my family, we'd go down to Sun Beach every summer, some of the happiest memories ever. He's like, oh, well, how do you get to Sun Beach? Well, you just take the interstate and then, no, I can't remember. And like, it's that kind of thing. And then the guy, he's asking the people these questions, and then they start getting defensive. Like when he's like, well, what did you do? Because they're basically what you find out is the people are being controlled by these aliens. In the Matrix, it's robots essentially. Whereas in Dark City, it's like this alien species. But the idea is the same about like humans kind of being brainwashed and kind of believing this false reality, and then one person awakens and fights the people who are captive, and you find out that like they're aliens, and then or they're on some like asteroid or something. But anyway, I like the movie. I really like the movie, but the vibe within this city, with the vibe within the city itself, it's this really, it's very what is the word I'm looking for? Noir? I want to say Pinot Grigio, but it's not that. Noir? I can't remember, but it's Dark City. Am I going to get in trouble for playing a trailer? I might, so I'm not going to play it. But but the feel of the city is very. So this kind of looks like Hellraiser, but it's like you can see here, it's like very dark and gloomy, and that's just like what it's like all the time. They made a game? Oh no, Dark City is an underrated prime sci-fi for home projector owners. I mean, okay, great. But it also had but the city it had this dark gray feeling to it, but it also had a kind of like an Eastern European feel to it, right? Like the old school communist buildings and stuff. Like it had that kind of feel to it as well, which is something I want to be able to capture in this game. But a lot of that's going to depend on assets. But I think I'm going to get off now. I've been here for a little while. This was just a kind of like, I woke up this morning, I wanted to work on the game, and I thought, well, why don't I stream it? And I actually did accomplish a few things, so that's pretty cool. And I might work on it later on. If I do work on it, I'll come back on stream. But if I don't see you before, or if I don't see you then I will see you tomorrow evening at about 7 o'clock. Until then, be sure to check out my travel channel at Addy Goes Places, and please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And also I'm thinking I might go back to streaming on Addy Goes Places just because it has more subscribers and it's monetized. So I don't know. Let me know what you think if you have any opinions on it. Razman says eating burritos is only typical for North Mexicans. However, today I am fixing Chinese fried rice. And then the repo. What's the repo? I think I can paste URLs. Let me know let me know if you see that. Actually, I guess I can do this. I can check myself. Let's check this one. Let me know if you see that. Actually, there I am. Okay, yeah. So it does look like you can click the repo. So I pasted it in. Go ahead, give it a download. See if you can figure out what the heck is going on with the grounded thing. I'm gonna go downstairs, hang out with my wife, and I think I'm probably gonna clone this repo on my Mac and just see what happens there. All right, guys, I might be back later. So if you're around, please join me. If not, I hope to see you back here tomorrow evening. All right, take care. Bye.